Did you know that in 2001, North Americans consumed roughly double the amount of chocolate than all other candy products combined? That's over $13 billion. Have you ever thought where it all comes from? Or more importantly, have you thought about what impacts chocolate consumption has had on civilizations throughout history?
Chocolate is mostly factory made, but there are also handmade boutique chocolatiers. Cocoa beans arrive at the factory and are sorted, roasted, and crushed to produce cocoa powder and butter, which in combination with other ingredients becomes chocolate. It is further blended, heated, and cooled before forming the market product.
The cocoa tree is native to South America, where it grew wild in the Amazon and in the Andes. Evidence suggests inhabitants in the region used the cocoa bean. However, the indigenous people of Mesoamerica are believed to be the first to cultivate it into chocolate. Archaeologists believe that Mesoamericans have been eating and drinking chocolate since at least 1500 BC.
Chocolate was a sacred delicacy for the gods, kings, and merchants of ancient civilizations in the Central American region. Cocoa was a focal point of spiritual rituals, social status, and economic power. It was particularly important to the Olmec, Mayan, Zapotec, Mixtec, and Aztec peoples.
The spiritual importance of cocoa is depicted in images of gods, elites with chocolate drinks, and sacrificial rituals. The Latin phrase Theobroma cocoa translates as food of the gods, which emerged from stories of sacred trees protected and used by cocoa gods. The cocoa tree was believed to allow human souls and gods to travel between the earth, sky, and underworld.
Cocoa was held in such high spiritual esteem that sacrificial ceremonies often involved covering the offering in chocolate. In ancient Mesoamerica, the jaguar was a central figure, depicted as a god of the underworld and as a guardian of the cocoa tree. The jaguar's unique status made it a prized sacrificial offering. In some instances, Aztecs even covered human offerings in chocolate.
Chocolate was believed to help maintain good health and was associated with fertility in women. It was also viewed as a symbol of status among the elite. With these uses, cocoa products became a highly sought-after commodity. A booming trade emerged in Mesoamerica around 1500 BC, and major trading centers developed in rich cocoa-growing regions.
In the 16th century, cocoa was used as currency. In fact, counterfeit cocoa seeds even entered the market. As trade routes continued to grow, major cocoa centers became meccas for cultural interaction. Cocoa was used as currency until the 19th century New World conquest revolutionized the cocoa trade and its use.
Europe's first encounter with chocolate occurred on Columbus' fourth voyage in 1502. After mistakenly landing in Guanaja, his son Ferdinand wrote that they stumbled upon a 100-foot-long native canoe that was chock full of cocoa nuts. In typical European fashion, the boat was captured and all of its contents were stolen.
Initially, the Europeans were disgusted by the scum-like bubbling chocolate drink and thought it more suitable for pigs. However, by the mid-16th century, chocolate was found to taste great and deemed to be super healthy. The first shipment of chocolate to the Old World happened in 1585, where it spread like wildfire among Europe's elites.
Chocolate became increasingly popular in Europe. Chocolate houses, similar to taverns, sprouted up everywhere. The church initially considered these houses to be hotbeds of sedition, but eventually everyone agreed it was too tasty to be immoral. Of course, this meant that production needed to meet the new demand.
Cue the Industrial Revolution, which morphed chocolate into the easy-to-produce, easy-to-transport, easy-to-eat product that we know and love today. The most important development occurred in 1828 when Johannes van Houten created an efficient hydraulic press, which set the stage for large-scale manufacture of cheap chocolate for the masses.
In this era, the big chocolate companies of today have their beginnings, each coming up with something proprietary for production. Van Houten with his press, Fry & Sons with their blends, Cadbury with his chocolate boxes, Nestle and milk chocolate, Lindt and Conching, Tobler for the Toblerone, and Hershey, the Henry Ford of chocolate makers, for his massive factories and kisses.
More than half of the world's supply of cocoa comes from two African countries, Ivory Coast and Ghana. Like sugarcane plantations in America, cocoa was brought to Africa to be farmed by slaves, and unfortunately, this practice has never ended. These are the cheapest beans on the market, which means they are also the beans used for big business.
Bordering these two leading producers, Burkina Faso is a major target for child labor smugglers and slave traffickers. 75% of children working on cocoa farms came out of Burkina Faso. In some villages, every woman has lost a child to the industry. On plantations, children are let to believe their wages are going to the family.
A 2005 inquiry found that in Ghana, children are exposed to dangerous working conditions, including handling pesticides and using unsafe equipment without proper training. This often results in serious injuries and illnesses. All of this is in spite of the fact that Ghana's own Children's Act of 1998 disallows children to do hazardous work.
90% of cocoa comes from family farms, which earn 30 to 100 US dollars annually per member. The low profit yield for farmers leaves little or no pay for labor. Children and slaves are relied upon to maintain the plantation, hack down pods, and scrape out cocoa seeds by hand with large blades. Because children are there to work, they are not given access to education.
Consumers have the power to change the way products are farmed. Products bearing fair trade certification guarantee minimum prices and afford a premium to be used for enhancing the communities they come from. But the products are more expensive to the consumers.
New York Congressman Engel put forward a plan to label products as slave-free when the corporations actively participate in eradicating child and slave labor. The Harkin-Engel Protocol has been adopted in the UK, but in America, through political lobbying, chocolate manufacturers have avoided legislation.
As a global commodity, chocolate affects the lives of everyone, even those who have not tasted it. As a global citizen, how you decide to interact with this and many other products is up to you.